being with me on today. As above, so below, we're talking about moon's energy. If this is your first time in my life, my name is Chief Apostle Samuel Jr. I am the apostle and pastor of Apostolic Faith of Jesus Christ Incorporated, and my beliefs are deeply rooted in the ATRs. To each and every one of you guys, my melanated brothers and sisters that practice the ATRs in the church, universal laws are applicable to each and every one of us, and this is how we harness, disperse, and empower our works. I really want to talk about this this part of magic, the part of a spirituality that is seen all through the practice. It's a part of life cycle, but it's also a part of magical practices. And there are some people that are efficient and proficient when it comes down to these spells, this energy, frequency, or vibration. And there are the others that are not. I think a lot of people are misinformed and lack education, and like anything when it comes down to the African magical system, people try to promote fear, and so therefore people don't have enough a respect for this particular energy. I want to say, what's up, Demetrius, Gemini, Mother Susan, Gemini, right behind each other. I want to say salutations to my Madrina, my Patrino, to my Oba, also my brothers and sisters in Ifa, Voodoo, Santeria, Lakumi, Congo, and Palo. I want to say also on this Monday, hello to my Pisces, Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Aquarius, Cancer, Capricorn, Leo, Sagittarius, Scorpio, Libra, and Virgo. Now, what I want to discuss, because this is the particular energy that necromancers or people that commune with the dead for whatever reason, people that go out to cemeteries, they go to burial sites. These people need to understand that when you go to these places, you there's energy in those places, and I'm gonna be talking about death energy and the prayers and the spells attached to these workings. And what, first of all, let's understand, I'm a child of Oya. I had a dream last night, and this sparked this lesson. And in the dream, I saw the individual, and I also saw the spirit that that individual was working with. I saw the spirit from top to bottom, head to toe. I squared them all off in the face. So, and I say this because on the astral plane, another energetic body that we all have, I don't care if you not a practitioner of the ATRs, every one of us are a spirit that's having a human experience. So I saw that, and when I got up, to be honest with you, I was pissed. And so many hours, I think I've been up since 1 o'clock, 12:45 to 1 o'clock. Because I went to sleep really early after church. So I want to explain this as a child of Oya, as a child of Babaluaye, as a child of Centella, and a child of Kobiende. When it comes down to death energy and how it works, just like the cycle of life, death is also a part of this energy, this frequency and vibration. And when we commune with our ancestors, we're dealing with the spirit of death. It doesn't matter if you go to a cemetery and venerate your ancestors, if you go to a tree to venerate your ancestors, or you have an altar in your house, you're dealing with the spirit of the dead, which is death energy. These are individuals that live their life, but they're no longer existing on this plane, and they got separated from this plane because of death. It doesn't matter how they died. That death separated them from their physical body. And so therefore, I need us melanated people, when you're in the church and you calling on Christ that died in your concept and raised from the dead 3 days later, you're still dealing with death. I'm going to say this again. We deal with this energy all the time, all through the day. But when you have a lack of understanding, you don't know you're interacting with death. I had a conversation with Mother Susan, and she was talking about the cemetery and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, Mother Susan, when you talking to me, you talking to the cemetery. When you talking to me, you talking to the Egum. I'm dead. And she was more startled because I say it all the time. In my intros, I discuss this, but because I have physical mobility of my body, they don't realize my attachment to these things and where my miracles, my signs and wonders come from. The reason why this is misunderstood, because we don't understand energy. When we hear Centea, when we hear Oya, and and they're attached to the cemetery or the graveyard or the dead or the ancestors, then we have a sense of fear. Oya is fear, just like Centea is fear. Babalu Aye or Saint Lazarus, him and his children are feared, all because of Egum. So the reason why I'm explaining this, so even the people that are working on me can have a better understanding. When you do death work on, people, and let me say this out of all fairness, I done prophesied people's death in the church. I done did death work. So I want to be fair. I'm not here to be a victim, because what's good for the goose, good for the gander. Okay? So let me preference that before I proceed. So I wanted clarity. When you go to the cemetery or anything that attacks, it could be a rotten or a decaying tree. All of that energy, vibration represents death. Okay? So what I'm trying to explain is, when you go to do a death spell on somebody like me, when you try to strip me of my existence here on earth, I need you to understand that I don't just have spirits from the cemetery. I am the cemetery. My mother, Oya, is the cemetery. My father, Babalu Aye, he's a Orisha, but he's Egum. He's Egum. He's ancestor. You need to understand that. When you're fooling, my path in Babalu Aye is Olua. He that carries the corpse. Every attachment that I have to my spirituality is with the cemetery. And Yes, you can get spirits that will get up and fight against me, but you cannot bring death to somebody that's dead. I don't know who you going to that ain't explaining who you working on, but when you're dealing with death energy and that is the jurisdiction of a particular spiritualist, I'm not saying let me clear this. Yes, I go to the cemetery and do work like everybody else, but I don't need to go to the cemetery because I am death. I am my father. They call in Lady Death Centella. And then Kobiende is the god of death. When you dealing with Egun and ancestors and dead people, you're a necromancer. That is your region. So quite naturally, they're going to let me know that not only who went to the cemetery, but what spirit was utilized. So you don't have to just get past me. You got to get past my guardians. This is why the church world is so ignorant and they're easily misled because you think because you got power or you got energy or you got call on a spirit, it has to be able to fulfill its destination and fulfill what it was paid for. The problem is that spirit is dealing with another spirit that is also dead. You can't snatch me into the spirit world. I'm already there. When you want to understand death, then you need to talk to somebody that deals with dead things. My Impungo ruled over all poisonous substance. And then my other Impungo deals with all sickness and disease. I've already went through my trials with bonding with my cauldrons. And maybe I need to post it on Facebook because you a liar and you may think I'm out here lying. But when I tell you I got something or I have access to things, black people need to understand that what they're touching, what they're dealing with. In Haitian voodoo, I'm Baron Samzi, Mama Bridget. I need you to understand, I ain't just started dealing with death. It has not just started walking with me, working with me. That's why when spirits pass over, most of them come my way. Like Minister Mario, when he passed over, he decided to walk with me. I need y'all to understand, when you bury somebody's name that is not initiated, that is not protected, you got a better chance of allowing that energy to rest on that individual. But somebody like me, I'm going to cleanse. I have to cleanse myself just because I'm constantly dealing with dead. I'm going to say that again. A part of my regimen is to cleanse myself because I'm dealing with death. I'm dealing with sickness. I'm dealing with disease. I'm dealing with breaking curses. All this energy of what I do for a living. You need to understand that I'm already proficient. And just because you sent a dead spirit, you're not dealing with an amateur. If I'm stronger than in any department of my spirituality, it will be the cemetery. I'm super bad when it comes to how I operate through the cemetery. What's up there, Ryan? And I know how to, y'all don't even understand. When you say that you are buried with Christ, that's a ritual. And you're raised with Christ, and in Christ now you're a new creature. Those are the same ceremonies we do in Haitian voodoo and when I got crowned. Because let me tell y'all something. People have been prophesying and speaking on my life when I was in my 20s, 18, all that. All I'm saying, before I explain this other stuff, if you can bring it to pass at this point, when I was in my 20s, and I did not have these other initiations, and I was walking the dog, I was passing sentence, I was summoning spirits, whatever you want to call it, you were not victorious against me then. If you want to take credit for what I've been going through lately in the hospital, then you're gonna have to take credit that I was already anemic from birth. You got to take credit for my mom being anemic, my father being anemic, and you got to take. And I haven't known you that long. I've always known I was anemic. And if you did a spell, look how fast I come. I'm no longer anemic. I'm 52 years old. This is what, if you call yourself doing some damage to my life, this is what I look like at 52. I'm retired from UPS. I have my own property, and I have my own church. That's not how death spells work. When we do the death spells on people or to their success, we kill their prosperity, we kill their success, and we kill their health. And their ass go down and they don't come back. Somebody is lying to you. First of all, I'm not even bothering you, but I'm going to defend myself. I'm not even fucking with you. I could care less what's going on in your life, because too much goodness is going over here with the dead people. There are certain prayers. I forgot. When I went into the cemetery, that's a part of my initiation, is that I had to receive 9 more spirits in my spiritual court. My Padrino was there and my Oba was there, and they were carrying out the ceremonies, and they were asking, and I've said this before, only one spirit said no. Every other spirit I went to, the other 9, they said yes. So let me explain in this way. Anytime somebody is a child of Oya, or these are indicative of their spirituality and their attachments to magic, and why I'm able to do the things that I do, because I have access to anything that was passed over. I can summon any spirit or spirits in a cemetery, whether they speak my language or not. When I call that spirit, I'm a child of Oya. I'm crowned. They were getting up for me before I got crowned. Most certainly, they're going to identify with me. And this is another thing. When you're dealing with dead and you're trying to bring stuff to people and you're utilizing certain connections you have with somebody, remember that connection is two-way. It's not one way. When you're doing death work and you're doing prayers or put spells that are attached to death work, then what you send out can be sent back to you through the same attachment. What I don't like about people in the church that do this type of work and attach death to people, places, and things, is when the return, the sender, they are gonna always act like they're the victim and they're being attacked. See, I didn't grow up like that. That's why you hear me say what's good for the goose is good for the gander. If you can bring it home, you can bring it home. What can I do about it if you're stronger than me? But if you ain't stronger than me, and as adept that I am spiritually, you gonna find yourself 6 feet under. I'm trying to explain my initiation. Then I got crowned again with Babalu Aye. So let me explain that energy. This is different from Kobe Inde. Babalu Aye, Saint Lazarus. This energy allows me to be Egun, and Saint Lazarus is the king. He can grant wealth, but he also deals over and he rules over sickness and disease, infectious diseases. This is why I had to go through what I had to go through, because I had to be marked as his child. And let me explain. Death is present while I'm being initiated. Death knows my government name, and death knows my Ocha name, and death knows my Palo name. So it don't matter what you calling, whether you get an image of me, you plant me in anywhere. You call a spirit, that spirit got to deal with the king and queen. See, I'm not Mr. Mario, son of Ochosi. I am death. His and herself. I'm androgynous. I hold both powers. I'm not trying to get both powers. I possess both powers. That's like you going to my natural parents and asking them to kill me. I'm not telling you what you can ask for. I'm just saying the chances of them granting and opening my grave before time is slim to none. And let me say it like this, to be fair. What's up, my baby Scorpio? Let me be fair. If I was dead wrong, if I did you dirty, it's still not gonna happen. This ain't about right and wrong. This is my domain. And because I don't flex in that energy, because people are afraid of me already, and I don't need no more drama, I don't need nobody else blaming me for stuff I ain't got nothing to do with. If you're gonna work with death energy, you're gonna use spells to conjure spirits of the dead. You're gonna use prayers that invoke that spirit. Then be man enough and be woman enough that sword cut both ways. If you're gonna practice the ATRs, this will come along with the territory. But I'm trying to understand who is guiding you. I'm not telling you to stop what you're doing. I have a serious question. What make you think you're gonna be able to accomplish that? And I got way more power. I got way more tools than I ever had. And I done come through a tremendous trial. So I'm way stronger. I'm way more advanced. I'm way more skillful than I ever was. You're dealing with somebody that holds the power of death. Just like I got a sex spirit that follows me, I have Lady Death that follows me, and I have Kobe in it. I have Baron, some Z. I don't have to call him. That walks with me. You got to know the difference between people out here summoning spirits and some spirit walking with an individual. If you have ever been in my presence, you done been in the presence of somebody light and dark, life and death. I deal in polarity. I use a term called androgynous, which I'm really saying I live by duality. I hear you over here and I kill you over there. I raise you up over here and I bury your ass over here. I can do both. And my spiritual dad told me, even in aisle 13, he said that spirit you got, that Haitian spirit you got that's walking behind you, he said he'll do anything for you. You can work good or bad equally. I'm not stronger in one and not stronger in the other. I'm equally equipped to go either way, to swing either way. No wonder I like orgies so much. What's up, I'm Jealous Sweet? Death energy is not a bad thing, or we would not practice veneration of our ancestors. We may not be saying mama dead, cousin dead, daddy dead, or this person dead, but you're dealing with death. When you get graveyard dirt, you're dealing with death. When you walk in the cemetery, you're walking in energy of death. And you can be at peace. This is why I'm able to do the things I do. I understand who I am. I don't think you understand who I became. You wasn't winning when I was not there. And why would you tamper with me in my greatest strength? And what are you? And let me tell y'all something. When you're doing a death spell, in my humble opinion, when you're prophesying death on somebody, or some, because you can speak death on cancer or sickness. I mean, death can be utilized any kind of way, positive or negative. But I believe an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. If somebody is, see, I could have went through your whole family and brought death and destruction. And let me tell y'all something. Please hear me. Thank you for that like, clicking that like. What is important that you need to understand? When people come from the church, they got a lot of ego. They may not have the power, and some of them may have a power, but they feel because they are God's anointed. Now, These are also the people that go to other spiritualists. I'm walking a path because this is my destiny. When you go to other root workers, conjurers, mystic, agitators, psychics, and you're getting work done, potions done, and then you coming back to the church as though God anointed you afresh and anew, knowing that you received the spirit or energy from this spiritual worker. That ain't what I do. I have a supply chain that I go to pick up my supplies. Ain't nobody doing no work for me. Padrino ain't doing no work for me. Oba ain't doing no work for me. My mama, my children, they ain't doing no work for me. What I stand. Not that I can't access that, but I'm sufficient to handle my business. You, on the other hand, are getting other people's energy involved. And who's doing the reading? Who? They didn't tell you I got cauldrons over there? I got my own individual spirit. I need to break this down to your ignorant ass. I have my own spirit that lives in my body. I have spirits that also lives in my body in certain parts of my anatomy. And then I have the warrior behind me. He got his own set of power. He done got power from the Impungo. He way stronger. Maybe I need to send my texts from my Padrino about what he thought about the amount of power that I possess. Because somebody ain't reading for you right. I don't mind you attacking me, but at least do it in wisdom and do it with the understanding that you send that to me, I have a right to send that shit back. I don't have to figure out what spirit it is. I see him and he see me. That ain't good to be a conjurer. Your work is open to me because the grave is open. All you've been doing is advancing me. For these people to see that I really got the chops. You need to understand that when you go to the cemetery, if it's a child of Yemi Ya or Yemi Ja or La Serene or any of these water spirits, deities or goddesses, and that's their child, it don't make no sense trying to harm them through where they got birth from. It just don't make no sense. And you're going to the very place and the very spirits that I have rule over. That is not proper strategy. When I do my conjure class, because most of my people in there do work, I'm gonna teach them this. This some dumb shit. When you watch a man or woman coming out of every single thing they going through, that is, I don't know if you think I'm still in the stage, but I've been got two months ago. I'm living anemic free for 2 months, going on 3. You're attacking me at the wrong. I'm more strong and more adept now than I have ever been. And I'm retired, so I got time. I got time to get my rest. I got time to do conjure. I got time to do a cleansing morning, noon, and night. And I have the resources. So when that sheet go back to you, and I put, and if you want to really do this, because a lot of y'all get in warfare and y'all think you gonna be the only one passing legs. Now I ain't put nobody in there. I put my hematologist picture in my cauldron. But and I took them out. Cause that's a wrap for him. If you want to do death work with death energy, I give you all the death energy you can muster. But what I don't like is a person that throw their rock and hide their hand. They got my message. Certain people come on my live, they don't say nothing, but I want you to understand, somebody lied to you. Somebody didn't give you a proper read, and you out here butt naked. I saw you clear as day. You can't fight in the shadows when you in broad daylight. Not that I needed a vision to know what you were doing, but I still don't care. It just pissed me off because this is the mindset of most church people that prophesy doom and destruction on people. They always doing underhanded shit. When you a real worker, when you stand on your work, you say what you got to say, and you let the chips fall where they may. That's why Christian people are some of the most wickedest people when it comes to country, because they all about Jesus, all about Christ, but they doing the same dirty shit. Lisa, I know I'm getting my hands dirty. And I'll tell you, I will get my hands dirty. Some of y'all think these people are good people. No, I'm good people. You know why I'm good people? Because I'm straight up about mine. I'm letting you know how I get down. Not for free. This is the type of stuff you need to learn and have a full understanding. When you conjure the spirit and summon the spirits up, let me tell y'all this, because they don't even know this. When you are killing somebody, when you're doing a death spell on somebody, you carry that person's spirit on you until the grave. I'm going to say this again. When you pass sentence on somebody and it's taking effect, that person's energy, their spirit, they're attached to you. You got to know how to do dark work without being hurt, harmed, or injured, or even drained. I ought to know because I done it. You cannot kill somebody spiritually, YouTube, and drain their life force, drain their health, and not be affected. It's without covering yourself, cleansing yourself. And let me say this. How you gonna go after a big fish like me and think you're gonna be able to carry the weight of that word? Don't bite off more you can chew. Demetri said nothing but the truth. You carry that person. Whatever sickness they develop, you carry that too. You carry that person to the grave. That's what death work is. You lead them down the path to the grave. And once the grave is open, it's pretty much too late at that point. I ain't gonna never say impossible because I done seen some stuff. When Minister Mario passed away a couple times because I was child of dead, I went over there and got him until I was told I couldn't do that no more. I had got so far in the ancestor realm pulling him that I almost went over there myself. And it ain't got nothing to do with you. That's me stretching out my capabilities. So even with that experience, I really know what I can do. Because I ain't never had to do that like that for nobody else. And I ain't never went that far for nobody else. Because my family ain't never been in those situations. But I still learn from that experience. So I know what kind of firepower I got. I'm more wiser now, but I still know what I can do. And I wasn't crowned, and I was scratched, but I ain't have my cauldron. You need to respect the cycles of life. And death is a part of life. That energy, it can bless you or it can curse you. Just like life can bless you or curse you. One ain't better than the other. It's only ignorance that separates you from the truth. And what are you fighting me for? And why do I need to die? I know why some other people fight me, because I put it to their ass. And they will have great joy if I leave here. But why are you doing it? And I'm letting you know now, you're not going to be successful. And I'm making points because I know the message is getting back. Who read for you was lying to you. Just like Ms. Mario, me and him was being lied on to his family. It ain't never happened. I ain't never did no ceremony. I have never worked with their ancestors. I've never had a reason to go beyond my own ancestors. Some of y'all think y'all people is so powerful. I don't know why. But in my track record, you wouldn't have never needed my ancestors if your ancestors were so strong. I'm tired of all the illusions that black people in the church have about their ancestors. Because they weren't working signs, wonders, and miracles when they were living. I don't know why you think they're going to work signs, wonders, and miracles when they dead. The people in my bloodline were moving mountains while they were living. And most certainly while they did. Magic runs on both sides of my family. We need to embrace the reality of death spells. And I'm going to say this because I got multiple experiences. Never blame somebody for putting a death spell on you or praying for your unaliving unless you are absolutely sure that you did not start that. And a lot of people in the church challenge the anointing on my life, because once you are labeled in the church world, and I am labeled as demonic, they feel how they handle you, treat you, talk about you is justified because they're righteous. And them bitches ain't a bit more righteous than the man on the moon. Just because you hear me say I practice black magic, chaos magic, does not give you the right, sir or ma'am, to come against me, because you're going to take down Beelzebub. You're going to take down Lucifer. Whatever you think I am. The root worker, the voodooist. I'm not bothering you. I'm not impressed by your life, what's going on in your life. Therefore, I would have no intention or no reason to try to stop your success or whatever you got going on. I don't care. I am truly a Sagittarius, Moon in Aries, and rising sign Fire. You bother me, that's when you get things fucked up with me. You ain't bothering me, I ain't gonna bother you. I got opinions of you, you got opinions of me. That's all fair. When people spiritualists want to get money out of y'all, y'all love to hear somebody attacking y'all, want to kill y'all. Why? You can't beat me. You ain't gonna beat me. And I'm still asking you, why? Why is this necessary? It shows your immaturity and your lack of understanding of universal laws. I'm not your problem. I'm going to say it again. I'm not your problem. I'm over here. I ain't been your problem in years. Not days, not weeks, not hours, not seconds. Years. People, if you're going to practice your ATRs, be real about what you do, how you do. Understand the workings that you are dealing with. And as somebody that been doing magic since I was a child, dealing with the dead since I was a child, let me explain this. Death gets a bad rap. The whole process of echoing and all that gets a bad rap, but people benefit from that same energy. People get protected, get cleansed, all of this from the same energy. They do it in the church. When they say you got the spirit of Paul, Apostle Paul, they never existed. This should represent astrology. But if they did, you're telling that these people are going to have the spirit of Jeremiah, Isaiah, and all these supposed to be dead people. That's death magic. That's death energy. In the context of your reasoning, please don't think you're not dealing with death and you're not calling a spirit that you believe that once was living on earth and now you want their spirit to follow you. That's death. You don't have to call it that. That's what it is. That's the energy. My mother walks between two worlds. That's why they kept asking me, "Is your mother dead?" I say, "No, she alive." Because her gifting, that's how I'm able to do it. That's why you can't lie to me. I've been dealing with this all my life. I don't know no other life outside of magic. I don't know. For you to come on my platform, you got to understand who you dealing with and why I carry the type of power I carry. It's not the only power I carry, but the type of power. And if you want to learn what real conjure is, whether you're summoning from the living or whether you're summoning from the dead, which it says like this: the world which was, the world which is, and the world which is to come. Three phases of energy. You can summon the spirits of the unborn. I'm going to say that again. You can summon the spirits of the unborn. They being prepared to be born, but they still spirit, and they can be called upon. That's why in Charm, Piper didn't need for White to be born, that she could tap into his powers. Understand energy, frequency, and vibration. But understand, before you start doing death spell, you need to sit down and count up the cost. You don't want to be the reason why you get killed. You are 6 feet under, so to speak. But you're going to be blaming somebody else, namely me, when I'm only protecting myself. And out of all the time I had the processes, I still don't get it. I still don't get why you think you gon' and what you gonna get out of it. I'm not put on the front. Look at me. My energy don't lie. I don't care if it's Apostle Ely. I don't care if Mama Daddy. Energy don't lie. If I was not elevating, I would not have the energy. I wouldn't be radiant. I would be drained, because that's what dead spirits do. They take your energy. It's not happening. It's not happening. And not that I won't do it to you, but I don't even feel, I don't think, why? Why do you want this to be done? Because apparently I'm too far gone to be fucked with. And no matter how you may not like my delivery or how I talk and I testify, it doesn't make me a bad person. I'm only boasting in what God is doing in my life. When I say I'm protected by Egun, that's what I'm saying. I'm protected by the dead. Somebody sold that person a bill of goods for them to attack him. It's ignorant. And I'm telling you, I already know. I know the spirit. If y'all gonna learn from me this one thing, death is not nothing to play with. Energy ain't nothing to play with. I don't care what type of energy it is. Calling on that energy, not understanding how it attached is to you, and you're not healthy. So basically, if I wanted to play the long game, I would let that spirit keep draining them, because you have to use your body to maintain that spell, to maintain that work. And your body is going to get torn down. This is why a lot of people get sick doing dark work, because they don't understand the entity or the energy you calling upon is attached to you. And it flows through your kidneys, your system, to be attached to the person. And you got to carry that person. And sometimes you go before the person will even go. Even if you're successful. Because you done torn down your body, your health, your prosperity, everything good for you, trying to get this thing to come to pass. I can do this work because I have the energy, the power of Egum to do it. Everybody can't do death work. Everybody can't work the cemetery. Now, not in a way where they're not going to be, their energy ain't going to be disturbed. It takes skill, it takes teaching. And you got to have a spirit of death with you. I don't care if you in Haitian voodoo. You want to work with the Gay Day, you want to work with Baron Samzi, Mama Bridget, same thing. Every spiritually cannot bring death. And every spiritually cannot bring life. And you dealing with somebody that can do both. But I hope this educated you to a point where even when you get into HR, you got respect for all energy. And most certainly if you decide to work with me, then you have a more respect when you on getting consultation. You're dealing with Egum. The dead is talking. And I want you to know this. If you had sex with me, you had sex with death. That's why I talk the way I talk. And guess what? I ain't hurt nobody, because it's energy, frequency, and vibration. And you enjoyed it. All right, guys, I got to get out of here. I'm going to pick up Mother Susan. I really hope. I know this person ain't going to learn. They got to be taught, shown. But I hope my babies and other people that are practitioners really take this video and hear from somebody that flows in this. Stop jumping the gun and thinking everybody against you and everything is worthy of the death penalty. It's not. And it doesn't make you powerful because you kill somebody. It's your gift if that's what you're doing. And just like you can send somebody else, as my spirit dad said, the boot heel, somebody can send you. People can't pay me to kill somebody. But somebody can get killed through the spiritual works of protection and defense. And sometimes offense. Because I ain't even gonna lie. All right. Love y'all. Hit that like button. Please, if you didn't get the clear understanding, go back and watch this video again thoroughly so you can have a better understanding of what it is to do with cemeteries and all of this stuff. And don't let nobody tell you that somebody trying to kill you unless you have verified it out of the mouth of at least 3 witnesses. And if I was trying to kill you, you'd be dead. Praise God. Spiritually. I don't even care if you live or die. Me personally, I'm a true Sagittarius. Life is too good over here. Peace.